Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin. You're listening to the Funnel Down Defense Podcast. And now here's your host, Steve Collins. Steve Collins.
Welcome to the Funnel Down Defense Podcast. Before we get started today, I'd like to point out two things. First of all, teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. They're the ones that allow us to do this podcast. Go over and check it out if you're looking for a one-stop shop. You're looking to become a better basketball coach in every aspect of your game. Go over and check it out. I do not think you'll be disappointed. Also, if you're looking to deep dive into the Funnel Down Defense, go over and check us out. I will put the link down below, or funneldown.defense.com will take you to where you need to go. Have a great day.
I do, Coach. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Hey, so I'm going to show you before we talk. I was walking the dogs today and I thought about what the 1-3-1 stuff. So I'm going to share my screen real quick to see if I answered some of the questions. Hold on. All right. What do you see? Two screens or one? Do you see 1-3-1 right here?
I see two, and yes, I see the 1-3-1.
Okay, so you were asking about the 1-3-1, right?
Correct.
Because I've run the 1-3-1. I think it's a great defense, but there's tons of different ways of running it. So I don't know how aggressive you are on top.
Well, I suppose I love to be aggressive up top. Most of the questions I have would be for the traditional way that offenses try to beat it. Usually you throw a 1-3-1 at somebody, you have an odd front, they want to beat you with an even front. So they'd
put two guys up top. They'd put two guys up top, which is fine. Then it actually makes it easier if that's the case, because what happens then, and if I'm here, I'm gonna move this over. So what happens is that's easier, because then I have X1 just kind of playing cat and mouse, and then these two guys have to shift. So I don't know how you run it, but I always have X4 kind of lining up with the ball, X5 taking the middle guy taking the high post away, and then X2 is as low as when the ball's on the right side. X2 would be low way down here, down in that spot where I'm clicking right here. So I'm okay. You're right with a two point, but I'm going to stop my share. I'll send you those two so you can look at them. But I have found it to be very effective, especially when it gets onto a side, because I won't let it come back out. I'll let him skip it, but I won't let him reverse it. I won't let him come back on that side.
Usually what I've done in the past is when we're running the 1-3-1, anything outside the middle lane, in between the rails, we call it.
Yep.
The outside wing would pick that up. They would end up picking up the ball. So the 3 would come up and pick up the ball. Then the 4 usually goes out to pick up the 4 is the mad runner in the back.
Yep. So it tends to be my point guard or something like
that.
Or
your 1, sure.
Or my 1.
I try not to put my 1 back. My point guard, I don't want to wear him out. They do a lot of work with the ball. So
they do, but I like long on top. I like quicker on the bottom.
I
Show me do you have your whiteboard? Show me what you're talking. Do you have something? All right.
So I don't know how to flip it. I actually got the 2-3 up here. I've actually got the 2-3 written down, but
okay, we can do that.
How do I flip this so that you can see it? I'll just have to turn it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So 1-3-1. This would probably be she's more my 3. And then my X over here, X4 down here, X5 is here.
Yeah.
X2 is over here.
Yeah, you got to slide it down just a little bit so I can see the bottom. Yeah, perfect like that. Yep, that's perfect.
So if they're bringing the ball up over here,
yep,
she's pressure, but pretty soon she's going to give it off the X3, and we'll say this is their 1. We'll say their 2.
But put where most people go for your offense, like against your 1-3-1. So they put another guard up top. Probably they probably do a 2-1-2. That's what I've normally seen. Okay.
Probably be outside the lane, but the 1 in this case has to come up and take the ball eventually.
Right. So here's what we've done on this. So you got to decide how you want X3 to handle this. So I don't really care if they lob and banana throw between the 2 guards up top. Go ahead. I don't know if you have a shot clock. We don't, but go ahead.
We will next year. Actually, they're
okay. So if you're gonna do that and there's a shot clock, that's useless to you. Go ahead. Once the ball goes to the side from one of the 2 top guards, then we don't let it come back. So somebody's got to come get the ball at some point, right? One of these guards has to get the ball. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. Right.
But what's interesting is, so the way I would teach it, this is my 4 down here. Yep. My X2 is down here now, right? And numbers are all over the place because they're weak side.
Yeah. So zoom out just a little bit. Zoom out just a little bit. There you go. So yeah. So if they have the ball, I always have X2 sinking. You're right. And then X4, my bottom person would be ball side. So they'd be actually outside the paint a little bit. Yeah. That's the way I do it. I have them, they're kind of on a string, and I'm always telling them they should be almost parallel to the ball. You know what I'm saying?
So what kills my 1-3-1 is direct passes. So if this ball gets over top of the sword, we call it the sword.
Yep.
The sword's up, Warriors in the bag, the tip of the sword.
Yep.
Gets over here, and then this is a straight line pass into the corner. It's a wide open shot.
Yep.
So we would teach this girl.
So I think
that banana cut out, coach. That's totally in what's the word I'm looking for? Opposite of where you want the ball to go, because now that's kind of pushing it this way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to funnel it. So that means your top guard is too close to the ball.
The X3.
Yes. They got to play cat and mouse up there. You either have to decide you're going to pressure up there and trap and do something crazy, which is hard to do, to be honest with you, or they have to play cat and mouse, like come at them and then retreat 2 steps, because if they can see that pass is easy from the top to the top, then that is
easy. It's not easy. It's usually a lob over the top.
Okay. So as soon as that ball goes airborne, then everyone on the defensive end should be moving quickly.
They do.
Okay.
But the way when we go out to the sideline and then come up at the ball to stop that direct pass, rather than this person closing out this way to force baseline, because you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just surprised they can make that pass that fast. But okay, so let's say they do that. Let's say they go from the top to that corner. Great. Then I'm going to run that corner person off the 3. I'm not going to come out and back. I'm going to let you make that pass. And then I'm going to that's a wing person. X4 is coming over. We're going to trap you right there, because we're going to run you off that line.
So this 4 is coming over.
The 4 is coming over, because 4 should as soon as that ball is bananaed from guard to guard on top, X4 is already outside the paint. So that's fine.
Do you trap the pass, or do you wait to trap the dribble?
Well, if we're doing funnel, I trap the dribble, because I'm gonna have him or her put the ball on the floor. If we're just running it out of our normal 1-3-1, I always trap the corner. I always trap that corner every time.
Yeah.
I always trap it, because that because you have a defender there with the backboard. So they can't really pass to the other corner. It's really hard. So they're going to try to pass opposite wing is where it's going to go. And that's one of our steals. We work on that pass from that bottom corner to that opposite wing.
So if the ball's here up top.
Yep.
And you have
I want them to pass it to the corner. Like I want
what if they don't? What if they hold the ball now and you have the tip of the sword playing in between here? What do you do with this? Do you bring them up?
Think that, well, I have pressure. I'll trap
you
that.
Have to, otherwise you're leaving this lane right here because now the 5's over here, right?
Yep.
And the X1 over here.
That's why I let my X3 or that top of the 131 decide when we're going to be aggressive. They're the indicator. When they come up and decide that we're going to trap high on the 131, as soon as they go, the wing knows they have to go and everyone else reacts according to. So I give that X3 power to decide, ooh, I don't like what you're doing there. I'm going to come at you. And there's no way to scout that because there's not a rule. I don't have a rule for when X3 can come and double.
Right. So you do bring X2 up to pick up the ball then?
I will at times. I will. I pressure it. And then what will happen is and then I'll keep X3 back sometimes too, or X3 will sink to the paint and X2 will funnel down toward the baseline at that point. And then it's your basic funnel down because X2 would be funneling down. X4 would be way up the line, kind of playing that cat and mouse, but not really, just helping enough to help X2. And then as soon as as the girl gets it in the corner, then you push her baseline and you trap down there.
Right. I love the idea. Like my man-to-man defense, I've been trying to preach to these girls and I haven't had any verbiage. I've just picked up stuff. I ran the pack a couple years ago at the other high school I was at, and I hate that easy one dribble drive and then kick for an easy shot. So I don't. I'm telling you, the key with the funnel is you cannot let them. I mean, you preach to them no open three. I don't care if they beat us shooting mid-range jumpers. Go ahead, because kids can't shoot them anymore. The same thing. Well, not only that, but just so there's no misunderstanding, I'm the varsity girls head coach, so the girls aren't as good as the boys at shooting threes. So
no, and the thing is they will not like not reversing it. I'm just telling you right now, they will not like it. And man, if you run this 30% of the time, 50% of the time, they will not like it. The girls will not, they will take them out of everything their coaches worked on. I'm telling you, I've seen it. It's crazy.
I'm still confused though, coach. What do you do with this X2 though, when the ball is up top here?
Okay. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to funnel that. If they have the ball there, X2 is it's that EBF I talk about, ear, butt,
they got to come up here. You see how that's counterintuitive to how you bring that defender out?
It is.
Kind of button hook back over.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not, but it would be a direct. It wouldn't be that button hook over. I wouldn't even do that. I don't care if she passes it at the corner.
Okay, so you don't bring them out there. That's totally against
I want you to pass it to the corner because we're gonna then X4, that bottom person is gonna come up and run them off the corner to that short corner. Okay. So I'm okay with that. I want you to go to that corner, which is a little bit counterintuitive for someone that ran. God, your drawer looks like mine.
My looks like my race marker is dying.
But that's the exact, I want them to go to that corner and I want them, yes, because the opposite wing is going to come over and help trap at that point then.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, I've had to tweak this with different teams and to be honest, it doesn't work. Like the 1-3-1 is probably the hardest zone to run it out of.
Okay. So we ran a 2-3 last year.
And that's the easiest to run it out of, to be honest with you.
My initial question to you, when you're running your 2-3, so here, I'm going to back over. As far as traditionally, when we face a team, my top two girls are up top.
Yep.
And my wings are out here. If they'll run a 1-3-1 against it.
Okay.
So the ball goes to the wing. Do you play traditional Bayheim bump Syracuse, where the one comes
so
over.
X4 is going to sink. X4 is going to sink. X2 is going to sink. Right? X2 is going to sink.
And it'll look like that, right?
It will look like.
So you go from here.
Let me see. So ball goes to the wing. So X3 has obviously got the ball and is going to funnel down. X5 Correct. Is going to go down. X4 and X2 is going to have to sink. Yes.
Do you bump the 3 off the wing with the 1? If this is X1, like Jim
Boeheim, you can do that. Can your girls do that?
Oh, they're great at bumping.
Yeah, then I would bump. That would be the easiest. That would be the easiest thing to do. If not, you can always have X4 come over.
So when that happens, you end up here.
Yeah, see, now X3 isn't guarding anybody. That's the problem.
Right. Exactly.
So that's why I would have X3 stay. I would have X3 stay, and I'd have X2 bump down, and I'd have X1 go down to the 4 there.
Okay.
Because you want X4, X3, and X5 closer to the basket is my guess. So
who denies this return pass though?
They're basically overloading a side then.
Well,
that's why you don't want X3 there, because X3 isn't guarding anybody. You want X1 denying that.
So you wouldn't have X1 bump them off.
I wouldn't. If that's the way. Do you see that a lot? The 1-3-1.
That's what we run against it.
Okay. Is that what everyone runs against it for you?
Basically, like and a lot of times we'll start in this 1-4 high set.
Yeah, 1-4 I see more than the 1-3.
But then the pass comes here, and then this person slides down into the short corner, and this person comes over.
Yeah. So I mean, if the problem is then X5's got a X5. I mean, it's weird because X4 would have to come up and take 4 away, and X5 would have to sink, and X3 would sink down to that short corner, which would not be intuitive to me at all. I think you need X3 there. So go back to the other, flip it over again.
So you just don't bump them.
I don't think you bump them because X3's there, and then X2 can just sink.
Bring X2 down there, and bring X5 down there.
Yeah, and then X1 can just stay. X1 doesn't have to move because that's where they want to. And that way, you definitely don't want them to reverse the ball. Like, the
other coaching point that I admired from you was how I don't want the girls to be able to dribble down across half court comfortably. So if you bring X1 up here and you funnel them over, X1 would just stay with the ball, and X3 could just drop down.
Just drop. I don't know about your girls. My guys aren't smart enough. I got to keep it so simple that do these 2 or 3 things, and that's it. That's why it's so easy. It's just like funnel, pin and funnel, and don't let them reverse. And the thing is, what they'll get good at, I don't know, is they'll sit back and let them think that pass is open. Like that one you just showed, that X1 is they'll think, they'll figure out after they've run it for a week or two that if they sink back to the paint and just watch eyes, it's like being a secondary in football. They'll just watch eyes and boom, and then they'll have a layup. And that's what my guys do. They'll just, after about a week and a half, it's like candy. It's like they'll just sit back and they'll kind of.
That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Sucker them into trying to make that pass. And then as soon as they think they're going to do it, boom, they go. And they get that steal. The kick out is the steal. I'm telling you, you'll get 5 to 7 steals a game, and you'll get layups. And what I find, this is the stats teacher, those are effective ones because we score. I don't care if we get a steal and we don't score. I want a steal that we score on.
So you just,
you know what I mean, run it in your script, run it in practice, and send me some film, and I'll look at it. I mean, I'll absolutely 100% do that, especially the 1-3-1 more than the 2.
I've always taught the 2-3, the Syracuse 2-3, the Boeheim bump, and I mean it's automatic. Right. And the girls actually do that really well. And at that point, it's like who denies the return pass up top.
How much man will you run?
I wish we'd run man all the time, but I want to be that guy that's hard to prepare for it. You know what I mean? I don't want to just get put on film for a coach.
Right. And that, you know what? I tell people that's a bigger issue now that the scouting has gone to a different level than 20 years ago. Like,
correct.
You got to have like 3 things or 4 things. I mean, you could just run funnel. You could just run your 2-3 the way you're running your 2-3 and your 1-3-1 the way you're running your 1-3-1 too. I have done that in past years. It depends on my team. This year, I'm going to do my matchup. I'm going to do my matchup and my man funnel, and then I'll probably have some other tweak, maybe a 1-3-1 or something else that I won't.
Yeah, I'm worried about teaching them different techniques. Like, this is my second year. I came in for a guy. He got fired basically because they said he was too hard on the girls. So that last year was my first year replacing a 20-year coach. Right. And he was, I'm not kidding you, he was a saggy man-to-man half court. That's it.
Yeah, but I think if you say this is our man and this is the way we're going to run man all the time and this is the way we're going to run our zone all the time, I think those are separate enough that I think at least my guys have issues with all the tweaks. That's why we switch every ball screen. I don't want to spend any time on ball screens. 0. I switch everything.
So you're running the no middle defense. I'm shocked that you don't run that ice side ball screen defense. When a ball gets to the wing, you just
switch everything because I don't want to spend time on. I just don't want to spend time on that. I want to spend time on other stuff that I think is more effective. I know what you're saying.
6'2" kid, or in my case, a 6'2" girl, which is rare.
Well, that's like a 6'7" boy, 6'8" boy. Yep.
Yeah, 6'8" boy, and you're switching them onto a 5'9" point guard.
But you know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. What's a 5'9" point guard going to do?
What's a 5'9" point guard going to do when they got to switch onto the kid and he goes and posts them up?
But how often does that happen? I'm going to tell you right now. You go find me film of the guard posting up the big, or the vice versa. The big posting up the guard. Tell me how often that happens and it's successful. I'm just telling you, doesn't happen because think of all the variables that have to happen. The pass has to happen right. They overcompensate because they see the 6'2" girl and the 5'7" girl, and they go, oh my god, and they make a bad pass. I'm telling you, the points per possession is lower on that. And then what I do is I tell my guards, I tell my 5'9" guard that no one can post you up. What are you doing? Like, try to front them. They hate that. The big guys hate when the little guards. I'm telling you. It's like the math doesn't support. You're doing observational study. The math doesn't support what you're saying. I'm just telling you.
That's very
true. I think it does, but go find me film showing that works.
You know what? You're probably right because I mean, that's just everything that I've always heard. That's everything that's traditional teaching.
No, that's traditional. That's what people say, and that's what I used to think. And then it was like, it never happens. And first of all, kids are horrible post passers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the first thing. Let's just start with what the reality of the real world right now. They're all horrible post passers because the game has moved away from post. When I was growing up, you had to get it into the post. I mean, I remember my college coach saying, if you don't bounce pass into the post, you're never playing, Collins. Threw the ball at my head. I remember that day vividly. But we don't do that anymore. It's threes, it's dribble drive. It's get to the rim. It's not posting. So that's why I went to the all switch because it's okay. I don't care. We'll switch back if we would, that's assuming the other coach is prepared. That's assuming they've spent time on that. It's assuming they get the ball in. And it's assuming we haven't switched back yet in your offense because they ran by each other again.
I do like to use the principle if they do happen to feed the post, double over.
Yeah, done. That's easy. Switch everything. Ball goes to the post. We double. Simple. You don't. And to think of all the practice time you just saved.
Yeah, we do practice ice that side ball screen a lot.
And you don't have to do it because this is all we're doing. There's no. And the thing is, here's what: in a big game, there's no confusion.
How do you take away the roll?
Yeah.
How do you take away the roll?
I pressure the ball enough. And again, how good is the pass on the roll? It's like the lob pass. It's like the lob pass never happens. The roll pass. It's like, now, if you got two people on one side and you're isolating, and then you got the roll, well, the other three better be over there helping at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah. Okay. Just switch everything. Wow. See, we go through practice fighting over screens and getting through screens and everything else.
But think I just saved you 30% of your practice time.
So so depending on who's switching, it's a hard hedge or a soft hedge. Okay.
Play with it. But no, so once I know you start tomorrow, don't you?
Yes, sir. First mandatory practice tomorrow.
That's crazy. We don't start till 15th.
Well, my first game is the 19th of November.
Oh God, you go a long time then.
Yeah, we go into February, and then our tournament runs into March.
Yeah, so do we. We go to middle March. When do you have your first scrimmage?
Saturday.
Okay. So you're going to film that and experiment. So what I tell coaches too, that I mentor, it's like, this is a laboratory at this point. Just try it, see if it works.
Okay.
I mean,
but stick with the funnel principle. So you're thinking
the girls will go. I'm telling you.
I tried no middle defense. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. But I didn't have the same verbiage. I didn't, I like the idea of the gutter and the floor markings and everything else. I never even thought about that.
And the thing is, I'm going to tell you honestly, the floor markings with volleyball courts, if they do that, you will never lose a game. The problem is that's our idea. That's the 100% on the test. They're going to be like a foot inside or a, foot and a half inside that. But that's our goal. We want 100% on the test. If we keep them out there, they'll never beat us ever. When we're playing a team that's way inferior to us, we can always keep them out. When we're playing a team that's closer to us, it's harder. They get in 2-3 feet inside that, which is fine. I don't care. But so that's our goal.
You won't use your funnel down principle for both man and zone at all times.
I do with my matchup and with my, but I don't. I'll always have something that doesn't fall into it. Like I'll just run my normal 1-3-1. Or I won't do it, which is a big enough switch for them. But our matchup kind of does that anyway. Like we're always trying to keep them on a side. If your girls can keep them on the left side, you'll even be better. The boys, it's so much harder because they have a little bit more, Yeah, they have a little bit better handles. They've been watching YouTube a little bit longer. If you can keep them on the left, it's better. So for you, I would try 60-40 on the left, 70-30.
Yeah, there's a Canadian team that forces all left,
and that's hard. I live in reality. That's just hard. I can't. I would love to do that too. I would love to have more hair. Lots of things, but it's just it's reality. So what am I going to, that's the issue I have with that is what's the issue when it goes to the right side? Well, I don't want to reteach. I just want, this is what we do.
Just force.
And we're just going to keep them over there. Now on our side, there's like 3 teams. When they're on the right side, we got to take another 1.5 step over to help. Like on the right side rather than the left side. So, but that's in my scout. Like, okay, this is a team that when they're on the right, we got to be really aware of it. Because they can turn the corner and then posterize this kind of thing.
Let me see if I can bring up this scenario for you. Man to man, ball gets to the wing, and they come out for, I really hate the fact that my marker's dying. And they come out for this ball screen over here. You let them come middle with the hedge?
No, I don't. I stop them and go the other way. So move your camera to the right a little. There you go, like that. Okay. So put the X's and O's there.
This is tough. All right. So here, this would be the ball.
Yep.
Here comes the ball screen coming out.
Yep.
And this defender's here.
Yep.
You use this defender to come up here.
He's going to force them go to the other way. Yep.
Okay, so that opens up this lane. So you got.
We want that lane. We want that because someone's sitting over there helping already.
Okay. See, I would, and
because everyone, if the ball's on that side, the other 3 guys, if there's somebody in the corner, they're already up the line. If all three of the other people are on the other side of the court, great. Because that means our other three people, if that happened to be the case, all three of them would have their foot in the paint. So they're going to come to a wall at that point.
Okay. So bring this person up, and instead of icing, and because on ice, it's totally backwards. This defender just drops down here, and they're the one waiting for him.
Yep.
So you're familiar with the ice pick and roll.
I am.
And you don't like it.
I mean, I think it's fine.
I can't get the girls to buy into it.
No, I mean, that's why the switch is just so much easier. Yeah.
Okay. So if they do come up high, that you switch it and try to funnel them back. Just always funnel down.
Right. And the thing is, you got to remember the defender at that point is higher up the line too. So I'm already kind of pushing you that way. Hopefully. They won't want to go that way once they go that way a couple of times too. Kind of like putting your finger in the outlet once you get shocked a couple of times. For initially, it's like, all right, but not afterwards.
Okay.
Try it this week, Coach, and then send me some tape and I'll look at it.
I will.
Okay.
I appreciate the time, Steve. I really, really do. That's pretty awesome.
No problem. I'm literally heading off to a coach's meeting right now. I got to my list of because we got 3 weeks. So, all right, we'll talk soon. See ya. Bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.